What's up, Hero Stock Nation?
Wasn't supposed to be nothing that I'd call home, to tell my mama that I ain't gonna be alone. Been working on college, now I'm picking this guitar, but we fell for each other one night at that bar. Maybe we took it too far. Sometimes forever ain't always meant to be, kinda like that summer, oh, you and me. Maybe together ain't nothing but a dream, but love's meant for leaving, it's bittersweet, like those fall time leaves. Couldn't help but say that I want you to stay, but we both know it doesn't matter anyways, 'cause you're off for better, and now I'm stuck in this town. You're meant for flight, and I'm meant to stick around. We're both feet on the ground. Sometimes forever ain't always meant to be, kinda like that summer, oh, you and me. Maybe together ain't nothing but a dream, our love's meant for leaving, it's bittersweet, like those fall time leaves. Like those fall time leaves. Waking up today, I'm still wishing you stayed. But God only knows, maybe you'll come back someday. Sometimes forever ain't always meant to be, kinda like that summer, oh, you and me. Maybe together ain't nothing but a dream, our love's meant for leaving, it's bittersweet, like those fall time leaves. Like those fall time leaves.
What's up, Hero Stock Nation? Welcome back to the round table where heroes talk. It's a new year, and the Hero Stock Nation team hopes that your holidays were festive and fun and filled with great things. My name is Tom Lamog, and I'm here with my good friend and award-winning songwriter, U.S. Army veteran, co-host of our show, Matthew Jones.
What's up, Tom?
Dude, it's been like 3 weeks. How the heck are you?
It's been a minute. Honestly, I was getting a little stir crazy. I was like, I should be doing something.
Well, hopefully, the holidays, it kept me busy. In fact, you can probably hear it in my voice. I caught a little cold that's been around for like 3 weeks. The entire 3 weeks we were gone. And I'm thinking, I'm going to show up to tonight's podcast thinking like, in case I can't get the words out, Matt.
Yeah, I'll wing it. I'll wing it.
Hey, so I just got to ask you, with the new year here, and I did post, I saw something that you posted about some of the things you wanted to accomplish in the year ahead. Not that they're New Year's resolutions or anything, but
No, no.
yeah. I mean, have you got? I think I know that I've got some aspirations. I would like to pick up my electric guitar a little bit more compared to the acoustic, but notice behind me there's no electric. But that's
Yeah, yeah.
definitely one thing I want to do. But have you got any? Have you got anything that you want to accomplish this year?
You know, honestly, I feel like if I try to make something happen, it just winds up stressing me out. So I'm not going to try to make anything happen. I'm just going to, look for opportunities and take advantage of them, and just kind of lean in on my blessings. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
Can I throw
2025 was awesome.
can I throw some ideas at you? Write a
Oh,
few more
absolutely.
songs. You write a few more songs.
Oh yeah,
Learn a
yeah,
few more
definitely.
chords.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
And of course you got to help me interview some guests for sure. I'm so
Oh,
glad
absolutely.
that you're back for another year. We've been granted another year, thanks
Another
to
year.
Jason Steiner for
Oh man.
for the
Oh man.
podcast. Yeah. Well, before we bring in our guest, Anthony Segovia. Anthony Segovia. There we go. I wanna I want to make sure I get the name right, even though I'm still feeling a little congested up here. But I want to talk about the round table because if you're a first time viewer, here's what you need to know about the round table where heroes talk. It centers on authentic conversation with veterans, first responders, and supporters of the Hero Stock mission. Now, each week, we share inspiring stories and open, honest discussions exploring a wide range of engaging and thought provoking topics. Most episodes also feature live performances and an in depth look at our guests' unique experiences and adventures. In 2025, we aired about, I think, 28 episodes, some of them with two guests, spotlighting musicians and songwriters from the country and the rock scene, also sports organizers and fans, poets and writers, creators of brews, salts and seasonings, beard care products, specialty guitar picks, you name it. It was on our list of people to talk with. 2026 is here, and it promises to be an even more exciting year. So we've got a lineup of great guests, including tonight, who I'm going to introduce in just a moment here. You should know he is local to Nebraska, Grand Island specific. His name is Anthony Segovia. And here's what you should also know. He was born in Hawaii. He later grew up in Maine. He's an emerging country music artist, recognized for his distinctive vocal style and engaging stage presence, performing a mix of country covers and original compositions. Anthony's musical path started at age 15 with guitar playing, following an 8-year hiatus while serving in the Marine Corps. He rekindled his musical passion and has been actively performing since. He draws inspiration from rock, country, Christian gospel, acts like George Strait, Morgan Wallen, Riley Green. Anthony's music is authentic and it reflects the passion and commitment that he has through storytelling. And I'd like to introduce you to Anthony Segovia right now. Anthony, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. How are you this evening?
Good, sir. How about yourself? That's quite an introduction, by the way.
Well,
So thank you.
yeah, I got it off the website.
I know you did. I didn't write it though. But I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Let's get that out of the way. AnthonySegovia.com. And I apologize for stumbling over your name, but I knew I was going to do that tonight.
Does it
with,
feel
with-
weird like reading it yourself versus hearing it?
Well,
Like
I
when
didn't
someone
write
reads
it.
Okay,
So-
so when you read it, you're like, wow,
Press
that's
person.
me.
He's
And
got a
then you
press
hear
contact.
somebody else, and you're like,
Correct,
no way.
correct. One of my good friends wrote it for me, and it was. I was like, I mean, I guess. I mean, but I was like distinctive vocal style. But hey, so
Yeah. Well, here's what you want to do sometime. Try going to Chat GPT and then
Right.
and then it's kind of like, oh look,
Yeah.
this must be the truth because it's basically replying with same information that's from your website. But hey, I'm no tech. So welcome. Hey, let's talk about that song that you opened with. That's a song that you wrote? Is
Yes,
it
sir.
one of your first? Is it the first song that you wrote? And tell us maybe the story behind it.
Yeah, so it's called Fall Time Leaves. I actually wrote it about a month ago. When just kind of an experience I had where just a kind of summer romance. We knew it wasn't going to last due to circumstances. They were there for a limited period of time for college, and but it was a good, healthy relationship, and it was really true. And so I kind of just sat down. I was like, damn, like this is a amazing experience. How can I put this into a song? And I didn't really think to write a song, but sometimes, Matt, you probably know, it just comes out, and
Yep.
that's what happened. So I wrote it about a month ago. It's going to be the first single off my upcoming album. So it's kind of in the works with production and everything with my good friends down in Red Cloud, Nebraska with Cicada Studios. So, yeah.
So did you have a person in mind when you wrote the song?
I did, yes. Yeah.
And did you play it for them?
I did, yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You're witness, man.
It's like, oh man, and how did it go?
I mean, yeah, I'll keep things to myself. It went well. It went very well. I'll say that. So it's yeah, I think it was a good reaction. The reaction I expected. So but yeah.
And you've played it for others since then as well too.
Correct. I've performed it live 3 times since I wrote it, and I've gotten good feedback. The demo I sent out, my one of my producers, his wife started crying about it because she didn't know where it was. She's like, "Oh, what is this?" And I guess she had a very emotional reaction to it, which was great to hear. Just kind of how music can bring that out of somebody, and especially when it's your music, it's a really humbling experience.
And it's a difficult note. Like that's never the intention to kind of elicit a really strong emotional response. But
right,
I mean, music does what music does, And
yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, it's always such a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that experience itself, compared to when you first were introduced to music, so let's take you back now. Let's take you back to the very beginnings of when you knew that this is music. I want this to be a part of my life. Do you remember about the time that you discovered music and you wanted it to be a part of your life?
Well, I think since I was a kid, I mean, we'll probably get into that. I mean, there were 3 things I wanted to be when I was a kid. It was either be in the military, a football player like in the NFL, or a musician. I crossed 2 of those off. I don't think the NFL's calling me up, but you never know. But that was something, I get a huge influence and passion from music. My dad was a musician. He played saxophone, and growing up listening to, obviously he's from Texas, so George Strait, the 90s, where Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, Shania Twain. I mean, you can't deny that. And I grew up in a very religious household, and so my mom just listened to gospel, Christian rock, stuff like that. And the only thing I could listen to if it wasn't gospel was classic rock or country. And so I was kind of where that formed that kind of interest and that taste. And I remember always enjoying singing. Growing up, we grew up in a kind of backdrop of a national or a state park. And so I just got into the woods and I would just sing horribly, I might add, but I would sing because I just enjoyed doing it. And then in high school, that's kind of when it became more of a, hey, maybe I could do this, pick up girls. It didn't work. At least the girl I had in mind, it didn't work, but it kind of worked out.
Strikeout.
Yeah, that's the only reason I picked up a guitar
Is that your first instrument? Was guitar your first instrument?
Piano, actually. So I wanted to play drums because I was a loud, rambunctious kid. My parents, I was one of those who jump from one thing to the next, and my parents I'm not spending $400 on a drum kit. Oh. And my mom was playing piano at the time, so she's like, "Well, you can play piano, and if you do it for a year, we'll see what happens." And I looked at it as a chore. Looking back, I should have dove headfirst into that because
funny how that is. I had a similar experience growing up. It's basically 5 years old, you will learn to play. And by the way, you were born in Hawaii.
Yeah,
my parents are Hawaiian.
Yeah.
It is kind of like, I don't know if it's the upbringing that we both had, but it's basically you will learn the piano at 5 years old. It's kind of like, and I kind of like was incentivized to, if you learn to play this, then we'll we'll
Right.
talk about it next year. What the next
Right.
thing. That went on for 10 years until I
Oh.
said, "Can you get me a guitar?"
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you had that same experience,
Yes.
sort of.
Yes. Absolutely.
And here I am. I want to learn piano,
Yeah, I do
Oh,
but
too
all I
now.
know is guitar.
oh. Well, it's never too late. In fact, I know a person. Well, how's
You know a guy?
that? So, Anthony, let me go back to your parents' role in all of this. I mean,
Yeah.
did they encourage you all through the years to pursue music, other than just
Um,
listening to it?
I mean, I think it wasn't until I picked up a guitar. I mean, again, I jumped around so much, and then I got my first guitar when I was 15. And my dad, I don't think they expected anything of it. I was again one of those kids. I just had a short attention span. I was jumping from one thing to one thing, football to whatever. And so I remember my first guitar was some really bad, like $50 guitar off eBay. Like, it was a mess, and I picked it up pretty quick, I would say, and then I started playing, gospel music, stuff we listened at church, and then my mom would say, like, "Hey, you should play that," and she was a youth minister at the church, so it kind of grew from me just kind of playing in my room to, "Hey, you should play in for our praise and worship hour," and that's a pretty common story I've heard. And then, that's kind of where it started coming to foundation. They've always been supportive of whatever I've done, and I can wholeheartedly say that I have some truly amazing parents, and they supported me in anything. But the biggest thing is they wanted me to follow through. And I don't know if that's the military background from both of them, because they both were in the Navy, but it was, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it. And my dad always had this saying, Segovia's don't quit. So that kind of been ingrained in my head, like, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go, full tilt. And, I would say I was in a metal band for a couple of years in high school. I think most people kind of go through that. And my mom was not a fan of that, but she'd be like, I like the acoustic stuff. I like the softer stuff. But I wanted to grow my hair out, wear skinny jeans and headbang and
Oh
jump
man,
off stuff.
you were going to commit.
Yeah, I committed. Yeah, so
How long did you do that for? Was it a lengthy amount of time? Playing the metal band?
2 years, and then the band broke up, and then I joined the Marine Corps, and kind of, like I said, took that break. So,
All right. So, what about your friends? What did your friends think about all of that? Is that all of these changes that you went through from starting off to where you ended up at in the metal band? Did they dig it? Let's party.
I think so. I think it was kind of one of those things where, because you go from that stark contrast from doing gospel, praise and worship music, to next thing I was a lead vocalist. I was screaming. Had my guitar, and
I think we need to ask for a demo right now.
No, I can't do that. No.
Okay. Sorry,
but maybe at the end of it. But it was definitely a support from them, and my friends. Kind of, Matt, you probably understand, and you, Tom, you've moved around. The friends you had in high school, through time, you kind of drift apart, and especially those connections you get in the military, you kind of cling to that small group. So the friends I do still have from high school years, they're supportive. I see them swipe up on my story on Instagram or Facebook, and they give me a thumbs up or something. So it's still there, but I'd say it's seeing the transition. I've heard, I never expected country from you, and I'm like, yeah, me neither. But hey, here we are. So,
well, let me ask you about your musical influences of the time.
Yeah.
So, as you were going through high school and as you were experiencing metal music and playing through gospel, what were some of the musical influences in your life at that time?
Definitely like Devil Wears Prada, Under Oath, Bring Me the Horizon. Those are some big ones. My mom, she's going to listen to this, but both my Valentines, she would always make me, she heard screamo music, she couldn't understand it. She's like, what is the song about? And I'd lie all the time. I'd be like, oh, because I could only listen to Christian music, country, or rock. So I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to tell how they're talking about whatever. But that really kind of
on top of some more like alt rock stuff, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin. That kind of was my foundation at the time. And then obviously it molded and changed as I grew older and kind of experienced more music and different types of people. So,
Oh, very cool. Well, I guess we can kind of like move right into your service in the U.S. Marine Corps. The obvious question is, okay, your parents were with the Navy. Why not the Navy?
so
Marine Corps cooler.
I mean, the uniforms are one thing.
All you can
But,
say is wait.
yeah,
There it is.
I mean,
right
yeah.
there.
I
Okay, say it one
saw
more
that.
time.
The uniforms are. I mean, I didn't talk to any other recruiter. I know. I remember, like my dad. He was a corps. Both my parents were corpsmen, so they had experience with Marines. My father was stationed in MCRD San Diego for a time. But I remember it was like probably 2006, 2007, and there was this commercial, and it was about the Marines, and it was like, we've been called Leathernecks, we've been called Devil Dogs, and my dad said, Devil Dog. And I looked at my dad, I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, those are what they call Marines. And I don't know what it was, just something about that was like, huh. So I was in college, and I realized it was not for me. And like I said, I always, when I was a kid, wanted to serve, and I just looked up United States Marine Corps, and the rest was history. I didn't talk to nobody else. I was just like, whatever you need me to do, I'm in. Like, I wanted to serve my country. I had this sense of duty that I wanted to fulfill, and I had a lot of doubt in myself as a kid and as a teenager, and I think it kind of drew me to, I can make something of myself. And when I told people I was joining, a lot of people said, oh, you're not going to make it. The Marines, you're not going to make it. And when I got back from boot camp, I walked through work, and I was like, oh, guess who made it? So
It's always cool to have that kind of watch me moment.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Your family, what can I ask you what your family thought about that when you were enlisting in the Marines?
It was 2010 when I tried to join. I was 17. And my mom said, absolutely not. I'm not signing off. Because where we were at in Iraq and Afghanistan at the time, and with the political climate, they were like, hey, my mom was like, no. If you want to when you're 18, that's fine, but not now. And so I started working some odd jobs, went back to college for my like third or fourth semester, and I just was not happy. I was like, no, I need to do something. So I joined. And again, kind of going to callback, the one who was actually the most kind of, I wouldn't say upset, but frustrated was my dad, because he's like, I want him to finish something. Like, you're in college, finish it. Go be an officer. Do something. Like, I don't want you to jump around. I know you're going to be successful, but I want you to do something and finish it. You started. And I just remember that conversation with my dad, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And then after that, he was like, okay, you got my support. So they were supportive, but, they want what's best for their son. And obviously where the world was at the time, they had their concerns. But yeah, I joined when I was 18 in 2011 and went to boot camp in 2012. So
I know you've got a few songs that you've written. Maybe you'd like to share one with us right now.
So songs about life, my life specifically. It's called Those Days. I just actually recorded it down in Dallas, Texas about a month ago. So it should be out pretty soon. But there's some things about it that just kind of speak to where you're at when you were, as a kid. You kind of look back and you're just so frustrated and angry where you're at. And you're like, how am I going to get through this? And when you're older, you look back, you're like, it wasn't that bad. It's kind of funny, when you think back on how you stressed out about those things. So this song is called Those Days.
"13, bumming cigarettes off the older brother of my best friend. Sneaking out the house to smoke in the middle of the night. 15, got my first guitar, I strummed that mother till it came apart. singing them songs, annoying all my friends. I thought I was gonna make it big. Ain't it funny how remember those days, all those memories, and all those mistakes, thinking that we were on top of the world. Drinking that whiskey and smoking that weed, high on life and drunk on a dream, running from the cops and kissing in the back of a car. Who would have thought that we'd make it this far? "18, put a rifle in my hand, ready to die for Uncle Sam, full of fight and searching for my name. 21, I watched you walk away, you got eyes for that other guy, and my heart breaks, picking up the pieces to this damn day. I still don't know what mistakes were made. Ain't it funny how you remember those days, all those memories, and all those mistakes, thinking that we were on top of the world. Drinking that whiskey and smoking that weed, high on life and drunk on a dream, running from the cops and kissing in the back of a car. Who would have thought that we'd make it this far? Ain't it funny how remember those days, all those memories, and all those mistakes, thinking that we were on top of the world. Drinking that whiskey and smoking that weed, high on life and drunk on a dream, running from the cops and kissing in the back of a car. Who would have thought that we'd make it this far? 13, bum cigarettes off the older brother of my best friend, sneaking out the house to smoke in the middle of the night. 15, got my first guitar, I strummed that mother till it came apart, singing them songs, annoying all my friends.
Anthony Segovia, everyone. Hey, thank you for sharing that song. You know, I'm listening to that song. The storytelling reminds me of something I hear from Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were a big fan.
I was. Yeah, still am.
Yeah. So you're now in the military. You're in the U.S. Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And about the music, did you continue? Were you able to continue playing and, just writing music, if that's what came to mind at the time, or was this something where you needed to kind of step away and take a break from it?
Well, when I graduated boot camp, I mean, obviously my voice was shot, so I couldn't even carry a tune if I wanted to. So I kind of stopped, and then, I was in the training pipeline for about a year before I could get home and get my guitar again. So it kind of just fell away, and then I just prioritized so much other things at the time. And it wasn't right before I got out, I just picked it up again. And I was like, well, let me, after 8 years, it's a humbling experience trying to play some of these chords. And, actually, it picked up a lot quicker because I knew the fundamentals. But, yeah, I think I just prioritized so many other things before I prioritized my music. So,
well, maybe we can talk about some of the highlights of that 8 years that you were in the Marine Corps. And first of all, thank you for your service to our country.
Well, thank you very much.
Really, thank you. There were some things I know when we originally spoke yesterday to talk a little bit about your time in the Marine Corps. Um, I was really interested. Were some of the memorable moments, or maybe there's some things that you would like to share? Yeah, I know you had mentioned that you weren't in combat,
No.
but that there were things that happened in that 8 years. What's one of the memorable things that come to mind?
So yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I mean, I never deployed. I just was not in the cards for me. My first unit, they got back from Afghanistan, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll go back in 2-3 years." And then 2 years later, I PCS'd or changed duty stations, and by that time, the war had kind of just died down. So I was in a billet that they were like, "Ah, no, we need you," because just to kind of backdrop. So my job, I was a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear warfare specialist. So there's only maybe 800 of us in the Marine Corps, give or take. So it's kind of like, hey, we have you. We're not going to lose you, because if we lose you, then it's going to take longer to get someone in there.
There's some training involved with that. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
extensive, I would imagine.
When I was a student, I thought so. Then when I became an instructor doing it, I was like, this is easy. Like, oh yeah. But mentality changes from when you're 18 to when you're 24. But so yeah, it just wasn't in the cards for me. But I mean, the biggest thing that I got from my time was just the friendships you gain. I mean, I still have those guys on speed dial. We talk regularly, and it's one of those things that you don't find in many other places. You can find them, but it's difficult. And I don't know if it's because you just deal with so much stuff and you're in such close capacity with each other, and you work day in and day out. Everything you do is with each other, that you just form this bond. And that was one thing that everyone talks about it, but never really expected. I had some opportunities to do some cool things. Like I was a martial arts instructor, going from a kid who, I mean, I just fought my brothers and some friends to, hey, yeah, here's how you do this and here's how you do that. And I mean, I'm no Conor McGregor, but I mean, I feel pretty confident I can hold my own, and if push come to shove. But that was cool because being an instructor, you're teaching and you're molding these Marines to understand whether it's a mentality or the physicality of what you're teaching. And that's when I really started having some self-belief in myself. And I was a corporal, an E4, when I got that instructor tab, and I'm teaching E7s, gunnery sergeants, staff sergeants to do something. And it comes with a lot of humility, because they're looking to you for your help, and you can't just try and big man your way through stuff. So it was cool to see that transformation, and that was something that I really enjoyed. And then going through and being an instructor at the chemical schoolhouse in Fort Leonard Wood, that was a fun experience too. Again, molding those young Marines, teaching them, and then a lot of them looking up to you, because I'm only 4 or 5 years older than some of them, but they look at to you as like, oh, you have all the answers. And again, it's a very humbling experience, and that leadership ability and opportunity is just insane. Being a 24-year-old in charge of 60 humans, like, hey, let's do this, let's go here, let's do that, and you grow with them. And I kind of wish I had I have funny stories, but I mean, it's kind of just like, it's funny if you were there or if you know the people, but it's not like, oh, I could tell a story and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. But, talking to my boys about it, it's a little different. But yeah, I mean, going out, traveling to different parts of the country, doing training exercises, shooting all types of crew serve weapons, different weapon systems.
That's always fun.
Yeah, blowing stuff up. I mean, even... the one thing that was funny to me was because wearing a field protective mask or a gas mask and the mop gear, it sucks,
Yeah.
But when you're the one conducting the training, it doesn't suck as much. So, you look like, oh,
it
wow.
sucks putting all that stuff on in Leonard Wood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, oh my God, talk about standing on the surface of the sun.
For sure. And then again in 29 Palms, and it's yeah, no, it's it was a fun time, a time I look fondly on. And it's funny, people say they don't miss the circus, they miss the clowns. You know, that's one of the sayings they say. I'm actually the opposite. I actually do miss the Marine Corps. I miss the structure. I miss that sense of purpose that you had. And that was hard getting out, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And yeah, so that I don't have too many cool stories about my time, but I mean, 8 years there's a lot of fun stuff that happened. Good people I met, good stories, but nothing too crazy that might get people's attention.
Like getting in trouble?
Well, hey, you're not supposed to talk about it. Statute of limitation, I think. I don't know if I'm past
you're
that
not
yet.
supposed to talk about it.
All right.
But
Never
I
mind.
mean,
For us civilians, for those of us who did not serve,
I
kind of like enlighten us a little bit. Tell us some of the antics, perhaps, without getting in trouble.
I mean, I should not have been in 8 years. Let's just say it. I probably should have lasted a year and a half,
survived
2
8
years.
years.
Yeah, I got 2 good conduct medals, and I didn't deserve a single one of them. So
You're like, man, if they only knew.
Oh.
If they only knew.
I
Let
remember.
me stop the recording now.
Yeah, the night before I got my second one, I went into work and they were like, "Oh, they did a formation," and they called me up, and I didn't even know I was getting it, and they were reading off my citation. I was like, "Oh wow!" Last night, if they knew what I was doing, they would have been like, "Nope, rip this up and throw it away."
Nope,
So,
not happening.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. So let's now talk about transitioning the military
Yeah.
service. It sounds like you went right into music. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm out. I'm in now. I mean, was it that quick? It was kind of like, I'm out here, and now I'm going to pick up where I left off. Is that how that worked?
yeah, I think so. I was going through a pretty rough time as my last couple months. I was going through a pretty bad breakup, and I didn't really know what to do. And drinking only gets you so far, and it only gets you in more trouble. So I think I just grabbed my guitar and I was like, well, let me just kind of get back into this and sing some songs I know I like. And then that just reinvigorated that desire. And so when I got out, I moved to California, from Fort Leonard Wood to California, to live with my cousin. And I was like, I'm just going to make it out in California, a musician, because I started really getting into John Mayer, really Chris Stapleton. I started getting into Cody Johnson, a lot of guys who I still today like really kind of look at for musical inspiration. And yeah, so that was a good therapy for me, because getting out was not easy. And then I got out and then COVID hit like 2 weeks later. So it was just like whatever plans I had just shut down.
Yeah.
So
Did that give you the opportunity to songwrite?
oh yeah, I wrote horrible songs, but they were they were not
they
good.
count though. They still
They
count.
they count.
Still
They
right.
count.
Still right.
Were they all kind of doom and gloom, COVID, like, the world's over?
I was trying. I don't know what. Honestly, I deleted them all. I was so embarrassed because, like, looking back at it.
Oh, man.
But I mean, I definitely tried. I couldn't figure. I didn't know my sound. That was the hardest thing. So everything I wrote sounded weird to me, and I was not vocally developed as I am today. So I just didn't like the way. I mean, I hate the sound of my voice, but I know I can sing, so I sing. But back in 2020, I was like, this sounds trash. So I just kind of stopped. But I just focused on guitar playing. But really, the songwriting aspect honestly started about a year and like 2 months ago. Like my first real song I wrote in October of 2024. But yeah.
So there's some learning between.
Oh, absolutely.
When you first started, what do you think is different about things that you wrote about when you first started to now? Is it just more thoughtful, more organized? Maybe you can kind of share that with us.
Yeah, I think I'm not trying to force it. Whenever I've tried to sit down and I'm like, I want to write a love song because I feel this emotion of love, it just came out corny. I didn't like it. And, I moved from California to Nebraska in 2022. And so I kind of like at 2 years I was working, grinding, trying to figure out everything and pay the bills. And then when I moved here, I had nothing but more time because there's not much to do in Nebraska, especially Grand Island at the time, where I was raising my son. So it was like go to work, pick up my son, and just, he was 2, so I was trying to figure out what to do. So like, oh, let's pick up the guitar and kind of do stuff like that. And then from me, just, I don't know. I think it was just, I really decided to try this out, and I was just, again, playing my living room, and one of my friends, she signed me up for an open mic and didn't tell me about it. And then like the day before, she's like, hey, you have to be somewhere tomorrow. And I was like, where? And she told me, and I went, I played like 3 cover songs, and everyone really enjoyed it. And I was like, all right, so let me just kind of see where this takes me. And then that kind of blew up from there, and then started songwriting that about 3-4 months after that. And here I am. So.
Well, it sounds like a natural segue to another song. Have you got one that you'd like to share with us? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about it as well.
So this is, you and I kind of briefly talked about it. It's a pretty heavy song. It's about, again, me not being deployed or me not seeing combat. One of the things I had the honor of doing is being on the funeral detail. Everything from carrying the casket to presenting the flag to the next of kin to doing the sword detail, 21 gun salute. And I met a lot of good Marines in my career that had seen combat and had, shared with me a little bit of what they saw and what they experienced. And one of the things that I tried to put my mind in when I wrote this was where I would be at, or what some of these veterans are feeling once they're post-service. Because I had a little bit of that feeling and understand being out, but I never saw that side of the military. And so I was like, well, what are some of the things and stories I heard and I saw? So I actually don't know the name of this song. I have yet to name it because it doesn't really have a hook, so it's kind of hard. But it really, I mean, I get emotional playing it. So it is heavy. It's pretty deep, but it's a conversation that this person is having with his friend, basically from heaven. And so yeah.
Okay, well,
I'll play it for y'all now.
Would love to hear it.
Whiskey and pills are his best friend. He's trying to ease the devil within, to fight off the war that he left behind. His brother's gone in the blink of an eye. The woman who loved him took off home. It's hard to love someone who's killing themselves. She tried real hard at the end of the day. Her tired old heart couldn't handle the breaks. Living real fast sure slows down the soul. He can't seem to shake the guilt that he holds. He prays for the day that he's taken home, surrounded by the ones that left him alone. A troubled old mind is all that's left. doesn't speak the hell that's driven him mad. Nobody knows the pain that he's in. God only knows the places he's been. Welcome on home, my long lost friend. Been keeping this seat warm till we meet again. I got so much to tell you about the times I kept the demons away at night.
That was very cool. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, this is a type of song. It's clear that it was written in a different set of circumstances and it struck you differently than the other songs that you've written. There's so much emotion that's in that song. Was it a different writing experience for you?
Yeah. It's yeah, I'll just say yeah. It was hard. It was hard. It was definitely hard. I mean, I've lost friends, so it's hard putting yourself in that position. But yeah.
It's almost like a mental reprogramming of yourself in order to get into that situation in order to write about it. And it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna dip into that emotion or set of emotions so I can really write about that experience in a way that, you know, it's authentic.
Right. And it's kind of like you turn that part off for sure. And to turn it on, it was difficult because you have all those emotions. And like I said, usually when I've played it, usually kind of myself, it does give a visceral reaction, emotional reaction out of it, and brings back whether it's the memories of my friends or, you know, memories of the families that we're rendering honor to during those funerals and what they're going through, whether they died of natural causes or died in combat or, you know, they took their own life. And it's definitely hard, but the one thing that sometimes you're looking for a song that speaks to what you're feeling, and I hadn't found that song really yet, and this kind of put together a lot of what I had felt or had seen others feel, and, you know, that kind of experience. So
I gotta say, there's beauty in the songwriting portion of that, in the lyrics. You know, when you got to the part and you said God only knows the places he's been, I got two visuals in mind when you said that. I was thinking of someone kind of overseeing or kind of getting to spectate, you know, funeral honors being provided, and just going, man, this person that they're paying these honors to, like, we know nothing about them. So
yeah.
But then also saying, like, man, God only knows, like, we don't know where he went to, you know, we don't know what he experienced, and there's a beauty in being able to visualize something like that just by listening to someone sing. So awesome job, man. I absolutely love the song.
Thank you. And it's one of those things, you know, the guys who've made it home, they do have that guilt, a lot of them, and you walk down the street, you don't even know who you're walking past, and it's kind of a tribute to them, those who actually kind of went out and did something, and defended, you know, our right to do what we do every day. and it's the ones they seem like they're self-adjusted and they seem like they're fine. Like, you don't know what they're going through on a daily basis, and giving a voice to that, it's something that I didn't expect to come out when I started writing this song, but when it came out, I was like, wow. So
Yeah, my curiosity about blending your own military your own military experience into your songwriting, is that something that you are interested in doing more of?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would love to. I have two dreams that I would love to do when it comes to kind of connecting my music to the military. Is one, I'd love to, obviously play for the troops. That would be something that'd be such a surreal experience. But also, I mean, I don't know if y'all ever been to a Marine Corps ball, but they get pretty turn up and cut up over there. But I would love one day, if I, ever have the honor and privilege to be asked, is to, be a guest speaker at a Marine Corps ball. Maybe when I'm a little older, maybe if my music takes off and people are like, yeah, Anthony Segovia, big Anthony Segovia, so. But it's the hardest part about songwriting for me is I can't sit down and write a song. Like, I can't just grab my guitar, put my notepad down, and just like, let me write a song today. I can't do it. Like, this song I wrote in, I think, 15 minutes, and it was just me grabbing my guitar and I was playing, and most of my songs are within 20, 30 minutes. So being that vessel and being like, oh, I want to do more stuff with them, I feel kind of like, oh, can I do that? Because can I write more songs like that? I don't know.
You just never know until you know, right?
Right.
Do you find it hard to write a happy song?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't. Yeah. No, I mean, whether most of my songs are like breakup songs, and like I have a couple. I mean, I consider those days kind of a happy song, kind of nostalgic, being like, all right. But I've written one true love song because one of my friends was like, you need to write something not so sad and depressing. I was like, all right. So I finally wrote one. I'm happy with it. It's gonna be on my next album, or my first album. But yeah, it's hard, and I don't want to say I grew up and I had a sad life, but it's just something about sad songs speak to me more, and I think that's kind of where I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree, man. It's hard to write a happy song. I mean, because I feel like I run the risk of not sounding authentic.
Right.
Like painting a picture, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, boy."
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I know you.
As opposed to like, hey, let's sing about some other stuff that's sad. That's a little catchy.
Like, but that's where your lives are at right now, right?
Right.
That's where your lives are. And you have to acknowledge the fact that you are writing what you know, and this is what you know. So you gotta go with your heart. It's the authentic way to go. So.
And I mean, I would love to be able to write a song about drinking on the beach, or like going drinking on the lake or something like that. I can't. I've tried.
That's been written already.
I know. So
I tried
songs.
I tried, man. I wrote a song called "The Water Hole." And it was about just being together, no barriers, anything like that, down at your local water hole, whether it's the bar or a lake or something like that. I mean. I tried. I mean, it doesn't sound sad, but it's not real happy.
No, I'm a huge fan of minor key songs. That's kind of where I say. I don't know if it's the screamo music kind of bleeding in, or
Well, try the relative major next time.
I know.
Try that. See, I don't honestly. Honestly, sad songs can still be in a major key. So it really is depending on the lyrics and the story. And if that's where you guys are at, then. Yeah, go with it.
My songs get sad the second I start singing, brother.
Yeah, it's. You said Tim McGraw earlier. One of my favorite songs growing up was "Don't Take the Girl" by Tim McGraw, which is such a sad song.
One of the first songs he did, yeah.
But it's like, I mean, as a 5-year-old, I'm listening to that. Like, come on, like I'd have had no chance. So.
Oh my goodness. So you have been primarily a songwriter who does things on his own. Are you pretty much you write by yourself?
Yeah, I'm
I'm just wondering if you have ever thought about writing with someone else, collaborating with someone else.
Maybe
yeah,
a fellow Nebraskan.
I'm down, man.
Who only
I'm down.
lives, what, 50 miles away?
Yeah, no, I'm down. I mean, I've had actually. So I did a singer-songwriter festival out in Deadwood, South Dakota, which was actually where I met Jason with Hero Stock,
Yeah.
and meeting all those talented songwriters and musicians actually that opened up the floodgates. Like, hey, we should collaborate. We should write together, and haven't had the opportunity to yet. I've wanted to, but most of those people are in Omaha, Lincoln, and I mean, not that I can't go there, but I mean, with work and being a parent, it's your time is limited, and you got like, okay, I got a gig this day, I got to do this day, I got to take my son this there, so it's gonna happen. I would love to, though, for sure.
I got to ask this question though: is doing things virtually not possible? Is it not doable? Does it lack the authenticity or the spontaneity?
I think I've never tried it, so I don't know. I think the ones we've had conversations like, let's do it over Zoom. Life gets in the way. They have kids, they have a wife, they have stuff going on. So we're like, oh, let's plan for Tuesday, and then that was 3 weeks ago. So it's life happens. We don't have the luxury of being full-time musicians yet, so our time is balanced between work and a real job. Pay the bills and life responsibilities, and then we do this on the side and hope it takes off one day.
Well, you were talking about a new EP, right? Can you give us more details? How many songs have you got written? When can we expect to see it? Where can we find it? Give us the details.
Yeah, so it's going to be called The Devil in You. That's the name of the album. It's going to be, I just sent over 2 of my demos. One of them I played for you today. To, like I said, Cicada Studio in Red Cloud. Jay and Gus, they're great dudes. And we're hoping for a May or June drop release date. My birthday's in May, so I'd like it to be around May, but we'll see.
Heck of a birthday gift.
Yeah, I would be in. I'm going to buy a nice bottle of scotch as a celebratory thing. So,
just one?
This is expensive scotch. So.
All right.
But all my stuff. I mean, I already have 5 songs on Spotify and Apple Music already. I should have a 6th song or a re-release of Those Days, which is the first song I played. That's going to be re-released on Spotify and Apple Music, iHeartRadio, all that fun stuff. Just you look up my name and it's there. I'm the only guy with that name, thank God. So I'm pretty easy to find.
You were. I was looking around to find out more information about you and your music, and it's right there. Yeah.
Nice.
If I could just say your name correctly, that bonus.
Come on, Tom, get it together.
Yeah, I've been called everything but under the sun in the Marine Corps, so you won't hurt my feelings if you mispronounce it.
They kind of butcher my last name. So, Anthony, has been a real pleasure talking with you. Your stories, your music, your experiences. Thank you for sharing them.
Yes,
really
sir.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We've been talking with Anthony Segovia, U.S. Marine Corps veteran and country music singer-songwriter. He's been performing live at local venues all around Grand Island and other venues around Nebraska. He's releasing music on streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, and you're going to find him on Facebook, Instagram, and his website, anthonysegovia.com. When we come back, it's author of the book A Warrior's Garden, a therapeutic guide to living with PTSD, and founder of Warfighter Gardens, U.S. Army veteran, combat medic, and infantry Malachias Gaskin. You're watching The Roundtable, where Heroes Talk, the Hero Stock Nation podcast.